Welcome back to the WCS America Challenger League qualifiers. We're here in a best-of-3 series between Tilea and Drunkenboi. Sorry, this is the winner's round 3 matchup. This is the best-of-3. During the match point, the winner of this very map will advance to the Challenger League. The loser will have to drop back to the lower bracket.
And, you know, I was thinking that maybe these two names are not on par with all the other names we've been seeing today, but the games that we've been seeing out of both of them are just so good. Such good games coming out of both of these players. So we're going to get on to game number 3, and this is going to be, you know, the best of 3. So this is the last match, the ace match between the two of them. I'm very curious to see who's going to win.
I am too. You know, it's always nice to see these rising American stars play off against each other, so you can really see their styles, see type of how the metagame plays on the American side of things. And you know, some of these players are really good. I mean, there was a result where Bales from the Clarity Gaming Academy, he took out Max at 2-1, and Max said, you know, was a big favorite in that situation. So these American players are here to play, and they are very skilled.
All right, guys, so let's get into the positions and players on the map. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Neoplanet S, it is our Red Terran player, Drunkenboi. And spawning up here in the top right-hand corner, our Blue Zerg player. She's been playing so well, but can she close it out in game number 3? It is Tilea. So, I mean, Neoplanet S is such a good map for this matchup. You know, as I was saying before, Belstar Siege, I always find that map is a little bit more Terran favored. On this map, I see it go back and forth so very often, especially because this is yet another map where you have these two huge, major diverted lanes. Now, on Acheron Wastes, they're very close to each other, so, you know, it's just that one little ridge in the middle. But in a map like this, where you can easily counterattack without your opponent knowing at all, I think Tilea is going to be able to get such a good advantage.
We saw how effective her counterattacks were on the Acheron Waste game once she gets into the mid-game. However, on Daybreak, she can never get into that stage of the game. So Drunkenboi's goal is really going to be keep the pressure up, keep her on her side of the map before she can launch those devastating counters. And on Tilea's point of view, it's going to be how can I defend and stabilize and get to that mid-late game where I play so well.
Now, I'm really curious to see where she's going to put her spawning pool this time. That is one of the... I mean, the vulnerability of the spawning pool last game, I think, was a little bit too much. We were really happy about that position,
yeah.
But the dropship was able to come in and do so much damage so easily, and then be able to get out of there.
Perhaps more on the right side of the base than the last game. Maybe it would have been a slightly better position. Look at it, 3 hatchery before spawning pool.
So incredibly greedy. I like it.
Yeah, it's a great little opening, and in fact, she's done this because she's recognized that Drunkenboi hasn't really been opening Reapers very often. And this is, you know, a very good opening as long as your opponent doesn't really do a lot of damage early on with that Reaper harass.
Well, here comes that SCV. He's going to be able to get the scout off out on Tilea and see that the spawning pool is incredibly delayed here. And that's going to be a little bit of a telltale sign. Hey, maybe I should start looking around the map looking for a third base. There are 2 positions that she could possibly have expanded to, up here and down here. But actually... is he? There we go. Now he knows. He knows. So it looks like he's going to go over here. He's going to scout off that third base, and now he's going to kind of be kicking himself for not making that Reaper.
Yes. I mean, obviously, it's not a decision. It's a decision you make before you really know what you're doing. So it's not like it was a mistake made there. Always going again for the bunker. The 2 Marines are heading towards that spot. Tilea's Overlord should see it, and this is exactly what happened on Daybreak. And she had more than enough to deal with the bunker. In that case, using Queens and Zerglings. This time, though, playing it differently, going straight for the Roach Warren, only getting a single Queen, so we could see that very fast Roach attack we saw her do on Acheron Waste.
Especially with committing the forces, 2 Marines over here to the bunker. I mean, the bunker, of course, is an investment in itself. 2 Marines, another 100 minerals, as well as the 50 minerals of this SCV. There's not going to be that much actually back home to defend this, so if Tilea wants to take this and turn it into an aggression with those roaches, that actually could very well do a good amount of damage. Now here comes those first 2 Hellions. They're going to be doing exactly the same thing they did last time, pushing in at the natural as well as waiting for that third base to actually get fended off as well.
The Overlord spots the Hellions as well. Great over placement by Tilea, keeping track of all the units from Drunkenboi and where they're heading to. Of course, her hatchery is taking some damage. She will want to kill that bunker before it dies, but she has a little bit of time before that happens. Actually, sending 2 roaches straight on a counterattack.
Oh, and here they go. Those
Actually,
roaches.
is she gonna sack the hatchery?
I think she's just going to give up that hatchery.
I mean, she could definitely save it if she wanted to with the roaches, but instead opting to use a counterattack here.
But unfortunately, there are a lot of Marines here. 5 Marines as
Yeah,
well as a medevac. I mean, there's only 4 roaches on the way. It's going to be a little bit of a gamble, especially because there's more and more Marines coming out here with the reactor.
I mean, there's no way these roaches can do much more than kill the command center. But if they quickly go after the SCV, if they can force a cancel on the command center, that's actually a very nice win for Tilea.
That is actually, because, I mean, that is exactly what Drunkenboi's issue here with going with all this early aggression.
She's not canceling the command center.
Oh, this is weird.
Oh, meanwhile, in her main, Hellions running by.
4 Hellions getting a whole bunch of roasts off.
Oh, not actually too effective quite yet. Drones trying to split. Another.
Wow, only 1 drone was killed there. A couple more drones do go down. 7 killed.
But, I mean, there's a couple that were actually at the third, so overall that Hellion robot wasn't that insanely effective, but neither was her roach attack. Delayed the command center for a bit, but remember, she sacrificed her third to get that attack going on. This was the third she could have saved if she wanted to. Decided that going for the counterattack would do more damage and it would be worth it. But now she's stuck playing 2 base versus 2 base against a Terran who has a good amount of tech. Well, actually, it's not 2 base yet for him, but he has a nice amount of tech advantage. He's got the Starport finish. He's got a couple add-ons already set up, and she has nothing but hatchery tech.
It doesn't even have that many queens out, if any, actually. She does have 4 queens, but they're all kind of going out to that third base.
Wanting to clear that out so she can retake it, of
Oh,
course.
no, the queens are way out of position. The medevac going to go straight on into the main base.
There are
Pull
3
the roaches. Yeah, this is really going to not do that much damage.
Going back and forth there.
Oh, no. Oh, that was close.
He has to be careful with that medevac with that many queens around. Of course, Tilea has a supply van. She's got a better worker count. What's working against her right now, she just doesn't have any tech, or she doesn't have a third base to continue to improve her economy. She's kind of pretty much the 2 base economy. Of course, she can add gas onto that, but can't get too much more mineral income at her disposal.
Throw down a macro hatchery, though. I mean, she's got a lot of bank starting to form up already. I mean, you want to have bank as Zerg, but not 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the game do you want to have this much of a bank. So throw down that macro hatchery to try and start spending some of those minerals. And that's really what's, going to be in her favor. If she can start getting this production, start using this econ advantage that she's got to really start taking this advantage right back from Drunkenboi.
Some nice defense against that drop at her natural, pushing that medevac off. Some more Hellions coming around on the other side. Drunkenboi really likes to work multi-pronged aggression.
And he's really quite good at it, too.
Definitely.
He really doesn't actually lose that much that often. So drop in the main base once again, right into the mind of a whole bunch of overlords over here. Not going to do too much damage. Actually going to get warded off, barely getting away with its life. But it's now going to drop over here where there's a couple of drones long distance mining.
Oh, if medevac dies though, be so careful with that.
Gonna kill it. 6 health. Come
there's
on.
one in the main. It's heading up.
Oh, and there's the hit, and it's going to actually have to deal with 1 Marine out of everything else. But there are a bunch of Hellions now going straight on into the natural base, and they're going to do a lot of damage. They're actually killing
a lot of drone kills.
Many drones.
Tilea really taking a beating here. Drunkenboi following this up with no third orbital, no E-base, but additional barracks being built. So he could be moving out for a timing, or actually, I think he just wants to continue to produce units to fuel his drop play.
Here he goes with a medevac going around the other side. Yet another hero Viking now coming out here for him as well. 0 kills yet, though. I'm going to keep track of this one.
This medevac, it's got 4 Widow Mines in it. We haven't seen him use the Widow Mine drops yet this series, deciding to add those into his arsenal.
And that's actually going to be really effective. There's nothing out here detector-wise. And that's...
Oh, they're going into worker line. The drones, but sometimes they run. Oh, just barely getting out of that range in time.
Pretty good damage, though. 22 workers killed so far here for Drunkenboi. Here they come. The drones actually trying to target down that one, but if they get caught, they're going to get caught. 30 drones now have been killed here by Drunkenboi. And now there's a whole bunch of idle drones. They're just going to hang out there.
And then there's Marauders at the third base killing even more drones. Drunkenboi just doesn't relent.
His harassment is probably the best harassment I've seen in a long time.
It definitely is. His harassment is so insanely effective. Tilea, though, even though she's taking massive damage, remember, she's on 3 base. She's taking a 4th base. She's got plenty of economy going, and Drunkenboi still is only on 2 bases. Hasn't even started his engineer base just finished. Hasn't started any upgrades yet. So Tilea's actually looking in very good shape to go into the mid game.
And grabbed the gold base.
Oh, yeah.
And grabbed the gold. I've never actually seen somebody grab the gold base. Not in a million years on this map have I seen somebody grab the gold base, except for in jest. But even though grabbing the gold base, actually taking a lot of losses here, the Marauder is doing a lot of damage, forces the Roaches down on the bottom half.
The Queens are all here.
But the Queens are here, and they're going to be able to pick off one more medevac. Are they going to be able to pick off the second one? No, the medevac is trying to get away. He's going to go straight on into the natural. 40 workers killed so far here by Drunkenboi.
But yet, Tilea is still up 56 drones to 46 SCVs with more bases and a lot more food. The Spire might go down, though.
And it looks like the Spire is going to get canceled at the very last second and immediately remade. Drop here at the 3rd once again.
You know, Tilea is saying if I'm going to be taking all this damage to drops, I should take the gold base and I can afford to take that damage.
Exactly. And she made a pretty good decision with that one. I mean, look at the upgrades right now. 1-1. 0 upgrades currently so far for Drunkenboi still. I mean, he's got stims, he's got combat shield, and that's about it.
He's just starting those 1-1 upgrades. He's delaying mining the gold base with that drop, forcing those drones to run away.
Oh, those poor drones. They have all the gold minerals. All these gold minerals are going to be completely wasted. They're going to turn around and run right back into those Marauders. Oh, one Marauder does go down in a fiery husk.
Every single
drops
kill
again.
Yeah, just relentless with this. He's killed. How many drone kills is he up to so far? It's something absolutely
55.
insane.
55 drones to 7 in the worker kill count.
But she's still up in food
She
and
is.
in upgrades.
By a lot. 30 food supplies so far. And with those upgrades, that's really big.
It is. It is mostly roach food, which is worth less, but it's still, I mean, combined with the upgrades, it makes it okay. But she never got her 2-2 upgrade. So going forward, she's giving up her upgrade advantage. But Drunkenboi's moving out before he's 1-1. The Widowmines get focused down. What is Drunkenboi doing?
This is so bad for Drunkenboi. He loses so much food supply in that, and now it's 171 to 121, trying to land that 3rd base, but it's just not going to happen. The Roaches pushing in once again. There are 2 Widowmines still, but even the damage that they can do is not going to be enough to actually make this even again. Oh, there's 2 Widowmines, I take it back. Actually, still not doing that much damage, and now all of them have been picked off as well.
Of course, damage on the Roaches. He needs something else to finish a job. There's SCVs at a 3rd. They're going to go down. The 3rd is going to have to be lifted. And you know, Drunkenboi's running out of steam. His drop play was looking so good, but without the economy to back it up, he's having a hard time to produce units at a rate to match Tilea's production.
He's got 1-1 now, but that's probably going to be his peak. I think that's about it. He's got so few minerals left in his main. His natural is starting to get pretty barren as well, and he needs that 3rd base, but it's just not going to go down. Tilea is just completely relentless in this aggression.
Definitely is another drop at the gold, but the Mulists are all over that. A Widowmine gets a nice hit, actually. And, well, barely pulling back those Mulists before they die, letting them regenerate their life. Oh, a couple get focused down very quick. I mean, still, the bottom line is Drunkenboi can't take a 3rd, and that's not good.
195 to 116 in the food supply count. And, I mean, really, what Tilea would like to do is just kind of walk right on into that main base. But unfortunately, with so many Widowmines and such an army and such a wall, too, it's kind of difficult. But it looks like Drunkenboi is going to try and get a flank maneuver here and try and catch Tilea out of position, and does a pretty good amount of damage. Tilea actually pretty out of bank, but still those Roaches are pushing forward, trying to do as much damage as possible. The Queen's getting some pretty good engagements as well, focusing down those medevacs. Now here comes the Mutalisk as well. This is so difficult. This is so difficult for Drunkenboi's position.
It really is. He's closed the food gap a lot, mostly by sniping Overseer and having the Widowmines do great damage. He also has a lot of Marauders, which do especially well against Roaches. But Tilea is starting to change up her composition, getting Mutalists and Speedlings and saying, you know what? The Roaches had their day, but it's time to mix it up.
Wow, matches the food supply back down again, though.
He did lose his 3rd orbital, which is such a big blow.
He's running out. He's running out of bank. I mean, Tilea now starting to get that bank back up. I mean, she hasn't really spent that much in minerals, and she's now up to 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. One of them is gold.
Oh, Drunkenboi, though. He's got the bigger army right now. Tilea's going to have to give up this gold base.
I think she's going to be perfectly fine with that. Oh no, the Mutalisk is going to fly in. Don't get caught by those Widow Mines. Takes out one of them in a nice little scoot and shoot.
All Tilea has to do here is stop this army, of course.
I just realized that Drunkenboi's army looks so big because it's got SCVs with it.
That's a large chunk of his army. There's actually not too much he can shoot air. What she needs to get Baning speed and a few more Banes to really clear out this army.
So here it comes, trying to get into a little bit of an engagement. The Widow Mines do go down. Has to spend those Widow Mines off on those Zergling. Otherwise, he's going to be losing. She's going to be losing so many of those Banelings. But here comes the huge surround. The Mutalisk coming in from all sides. The Zergling getting a great surround on those Marauders. The Medivacs are running out of energy. Two of them are completely devoid of any type of energy, so the healing is diminished. And all of the Marines are all that's left. The Mutalisks just need to clean them up, but unfortunately, Marines are way too strong for that. But here comes the resupply from Tilea, now moving in.
Oh, no.
Speedling has just finished up as well.
The 21-minute speed research timing gets in just in a nick of time. And I think Drunkenboi's force is doomed now that speed is out in the field.
56 to 119 in the food supply count, trying to get those out with the Medivacs, but unfortunately the Mutalisk were not out of position. They were right there, waiting for it. GG, well played. Congratulations, as Tilea takes game number 3.
Wow, what a performance by Tilea. Just such resolution. You can just keep killing drones, and she's like, you know what, it's okay. I'm just gonna make more drones, and then I'm gonna kill you.
More and more drones, yeah. More drones, more drones. Grab the gold base.
Yeah.
More drones, and then just keep forcing you into these positions where you just can't possibly come back to.
This is next level harassment defense. You just take the damage, but get so much of an economic difference, it doesn't even matter. And then, of course, that mass roach attack to take out the third base really put Drunkenboi in a situation where he had to go all in. Then once he was all in, of course, the Banelings, Mutas, and Zerglings were just barely enough to hold him off. He had to concede the game.
I think Tilea thought that she had a little bit more time before that huge all-in was going to come at her. Because, I mean, she didn't have Speedling or anything. She was just barely getting those upgrades as the fight was starting to come. And I thought she was going to be able to have a little bit, she thought she was going to have a little bit more time, but she was still able to hold that off. I mean, she dropped down to 100 food supply right there with Drunkenboi.
That's right, he had his one chance to get back in the game. Didn't quite work. Tilea won and advances to the Challenger League of the WCS America. We'll take a short break and be right back with the next game.